You don't need enemies when your own mouth is working against you. Right now, someone is sitting in a room planning your downfall with sentences you spoke months ago. That joke you made, it's now proof of intent. That secret you shared, it's ammunition in their hands. That moment of weakness, it's their path to victory. You think your words disappear into thin air. You believe people forget what you say. You assume your casual conversations are safe. This is the most dangerous delusion of modern life. Every successful person has fallen because of words they wish they could take back. Every empire has crumbled because someone said too much. Every friendship has died because someone couldn't control their tongue. The ancient masters understood something we have completely forgotten. Your mouth is your most dangerous enemy. It reveals your secrets. It exposes your vital weaknesses. And it hands your competitors exactly what they need to defeat you. Niccolò Machiavelli spent his life studying power, reputation, and control. And he discovered the ultimate truth. Those who control their words control their destiny. Those who don't become victims of their own voice. In the next few minutes, you will discover 10 psychological traps that turn your mouth into your own executioner. These are the critical situations that happen to everyone, but only the wise recognize them before it's too late. Drop this affirmation in the comments if you are ready to take control. I speak only to win. Number 1, the rage revelation. Anger is the mind's ultimate flaw. It functions as a truth serum. When fury takes control, your brain instantly disables its security systems, and your mouth becomes a confession booth. Every grievance you've silently endured, every resentment you've carefully hidden, they all come pouring out like poison, exposing your deepest vulnerabilities. The person who triggered your anger isn't your enemy. They're your interrogator who has just found the permanent key to your deepest secrets. Rage makes you utterly predictable. Once someone identifies your breaking point, your anger becomes their remote control to make you destroy your own credibility whenever they choose. Machiavelli once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." Command starts with commanding yourself. Your momentary loss of control becomes their permanent evidence against your character. Your rage is not righteous. It's weakness wearing the mask of strength. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My anger serves me. Number 2, the victory parade. Success intoxicates worse than alcohol. Your ego demands recognition and applause for your brilliance, a craving that has destroyed more winners than failure ever could. Every explanation of your success is a tutorial for your competitors. Every detail you share about your methods becomes a blueprint for your replacement. You transform from a mysterious winner into a transparent loser with every word. They're not your audience. They're your future opposition, armed with your own intelligence, ready to reverse engineer your path to the top. Machiavelli once said, "A wise ruler ought never to keep faith when by doing so it would be against his interests." Sharing your success story feels like loyalty, but it's fundamentally against your interests because it educates your enemies. True masters understand that mystery maintains power while explanation destroys it forever. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Victory speaks silently. Number 3, the liquid confession. Alcohol doesn't create new thoughts. It simply removes the barriers that keep dangerous thoughts hidden. Every drink weakens your mental security system. Every glass lowers your defenses, turning you into an intelligence asset for anyone smart enough to stay sober. The most valuable secrets are extracted not through torture, but through wine. What takes years to learn through careful observation can be discovered in one drunken evening of false camaraderie. Your temporary confessions create permanent, sober consequences that last a lifetime. Machiavelli once said, "Therefore, a prince, so long as he keeps his subjects united and loyal, ought not to mind the reproach of cruelty." Be cruel to your own impulses when alcohol flows. The momentary pleasure of sharing secrets becomes the lasting pain of being exposed. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Clarity is my power. Number 4, the breaking point. Pressure reveals character, and for most, the civilized mask slips away to expose something weak and perfectly exploitable. Stress creates desperation, and desperation creates confession, admitting struggles, revealing failure. You think you're seeking support, but you're actually providing your enemies with targeting data on where and when to strike. Your breaking point is not a moment of authenticity. It's a moment of pure exploitation. While you're focused on relieving internal pressure, others are focused on applying external pressure. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." When you break under pressure, you inspire neither fear nor love. You inspire contempt. Your moment of weakness becomes their permanent assessment of your true capabilities and limits. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Pressure builds diamonds. Number 5, the sympathy extraction. Professional manipulators rarely attack directly. Instead, they appear vulnerable, sharing carefully crafted stories of struggle to make you feel like their savior. The sympathy trap works because it reverses the power dynamic. Instead of guarding secrets, you share them to help. Performed vulnerability is polished and purposeful, designed to disarm your protective instincts. Every secret you share in solidarity becomes critical intelligence for future attacks when your relationship is no longer useful to them. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple of mind and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived." Your innate need to help and connect makes you vulnerable to this deception. Your kindness becomes their most effective concealed weapon. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I help without revealing. Number 6, the information exchange. Social groups operate on information currency. Every secret shared has value in the social marketplace, and most people are terrible negotiators. The gossip economy is clear. Information flows upward to power, and betrayal flows downward to weakness. The person who shares secrets without collecting them is powerless because they are advertising their inability to maintain trust. Every secret you share proves you cannot be trusted with true confidence. Machiavelli once said, "The way men live is so far removed from the way they ought to live that anyone who abandons what is for what should be pursues his downfall rather than his preservation." You may think gossip ought to be harmless social bonding, but the reality is information warfare. Master the information economy by becoming a collector rather than a distributor. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Secrets flow to me. Number 7, the authority trap. When power challenges you unfairly, your natural instinct screams for justice and self-defense. This instinct is a trap. Authority doesn't want your explanations, it wants your submission. Most challenges from authority are simple tests of whether you can handle pressure and criticism without fracturing. When you respond emotionally, you fail the test entirely. Your frantic defense instantly becomes your prosecution, proving you lack the wisdom to recognize when silence serves you better than speech. Machiavelli once said, "Politics have no relation to morals." The moral outrage you feel about unfair treatment is utterly irrelevant to your success. Power operates by different rules than justice. Smart people respond with strategic compliance followed by exceptional performance, proving their worth through results. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Results prove everything. Number 8, the revenge revelation. When relationships end in betrayal, you possess nuclear intelligence, their secrets, fears, and failures. The temptation to weaponize this information feels like justice. But revenge through revelation is a suicide strategy. When you reveal their secrets, you are permanently advertising yourself as someone who weaponizes private information. The most devastating aspect is the long-term destruction of your social capital and reputation with future employers and partners. Machiavelli once said, "Severities should be dealt out all at once so that their suddenness may give less offense." If you must seek revenge, do it through silent, strategic actions. Your silence preserves your power for future battles, as maintained secrets are far more powerful than revealed ones. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Silence is my revenge. Number 9, the competence theater. When you feel inadequate, your mouth tries to compensate by performing confidence, expertise, and importance. This overcompensation is psychological theater that fools no one and exposes everything. Your need to prove yourself becomes proof of your inadequacy. Insecurity creates verbal desperation. You interrupt, name drop, and over-explain. Each behavior screams the opposite of what you intend. The most dangerous part is that it makes you predictable, a clear target, because people learn exactly which buttons trigger your need for validation. Machiavelli's refined wisdom. Wheresoever the will is great, the difficulties cannot be great. The greater danger is proving your incompetence through desperate overcompensation. Master performers let their work create their reputation, rather than trying to create it through self-promotion. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My work speaks for me. Number 10, the promise prison. When facing pressure you can't meet, your mouth starts writing checks your reality can't cash. Promises feel like immediate solutions, but every promise creates a debt that compounds instantly with devastating interest. Promise-making is the language of the desperate, a substitute for present capability. Every unfulfilled promise becomes permanent evidence against your reliability. Every failed guarantee demonstrates that you prioritize temporary relief over permanent reputation. Machiavelli once said, "He who builds on the people builds on the mud." Men often deceive themselves with that hope. Strategic operators make fewer promises and exceed expectations rather than making grand commitments they can't keep, thus building a reputation for reliability. Your mouth has been betraying you your entire life, and you probably didn't even know it. Every conversation is a potential minefield where one wrong word can destroy years of careful positioning. You must choose to be the architect or the casualty. Machiavelli understood what most people never learn. The game of life is won not by those who speak their minds, but by those who control their minds before they speak. Your absolute verbal discipline is your most powerful weapon. Will you continue letting your mouth sabotage your success? Your words will either build your empire or become the tools others use to destroy it. The greatest paradox of power is that silence is the only language that cannot be weaponized. Master your mouth, and you master your destiny. Don't let the next conversation betray you. Subscribe now and activate the notification bell for more strategic insights into the dark psychology of power. Learning these lessons today is the greatest investment your future self can make.